Hello everyone, this is Professor Hill, and this is another brief video for our course, Introduction to Ethics 2306. Well, today is Wednesday, the 24th of May, and we are literally halfway through this intensive summer course. And I want to make a few comments about the discussions. We've been working on this scale, this system where every other day you're going to have a discussion contribution due. Last night, midnight, was discussion number 4, the case of Baha Musa. And again, there were some very good, reflective, thoughtful contributions to that conversation. And everybody's got the system now, which is where I'm going to come in and make a contribution and then read through the other ones, fellow classmates, and then comment on those. For the next one, which is due tomorrow, Thursday, the 25th, that's the group study problem. And I want you to address a couple of things. One of which is we want to put more time and effort into your initial response. Rather than like when you're just reading through someone else's response and commenting on it and you're giving it a quick comment. What I want you to focus on this time around is on that initial contribution. I want you to be incorporating the concepts, the terms, and definitions from our textbook. And what that means, especially as we get into the group study problem that's due tomorrow, I want you to do a couple things. One of which is not just decide whether or not you think what they did was good or bad, right or wrong. Would it have been worse if they had actually taken the money? Because we're talking about kind of an attempted problem for the discussion for tomorrow, the group study problem. But even more than that, I want us to push a little deeper now into this issue, this dimension, which is if I think something's right or wrong, what am I basing that on? Now, we had started looking at both objectivism, the fact that there are rules or principles, moral principles that apply to everybody, no matter what the circumstances. And there was also this relativism, especially cultural relativism, saying that, well, no, look, we're thinking that something's wrong, but we're basing that on our values, especially values that are a reflection of our upbringing in a certain time and place, a reflection of our culture. And that for that reason, we still think it's wrong, but not because it violates some objective rule, but because it violates some cultural value. Now, that distinction, some people have talked about that, and that's been good and helpful, but I want us to do more about that, especially as we transition into this next block of chapters. You'll see that 4, 5, and 6 are really all tied together. Chapter 4 says, look, we're coming up on these two big schools of thought, consequentialism and non-consequentialism, or deontology. And then the next two chapters, 5 and 6, are about those two things. One's all about consequentialism, one's all about non-consequentialism. So you can really kind of read 4, 5, and 6 as a block. And I want you to start thinking now and applying this to the discussions. Reach a decision, and now that I've reached my decision that this is either morally justifiable or somehow not morally justifiable, I want us to come back to why. What's my basis for that? And to articulate that in your responses. That means you also have to write more. Some people are writing some great, in-depth contributions. And look, you guys can read, you're reading them, you're seeing your classmates' other work. They're really quite good. They're in-depth, they're really wrestling with the issues, and they give it the comprehensive reflection that it deserves. Other people have been a little bit shorter, and look, I got to tell you, a couple of sentences, at 5 minutes to midnight, just isn't going to make it. I've been trying to grade relatively leniently up till now to get people into the system and understand what we're doing. But now we're there. Like I said, we're halfway into this. We understand what we're doing. So make a contribution to that discussion and then go ahead and you can make a more cursory kind of comment or reflection on somebody else's. Those reflections might just be a couple of sentences, but not for your original contribution. You got to start thinking about that like a little tiny essay assignment. Every other day, you got to get in there, wrestle with these questions, And again, now start thinking in terms of, is my thinking for the foundation of whether this is right or wrong consequentialist or non-consequentialist? I'll talk more about that tomorrow, Thursday, the 25th, as our next discussion is due. But for now, make sure you get into those chapters, read the discussion question, look at that case study, and start to think about, is this right? Is this wrong? And why? So, again, if you have any questions or issues, feel free to contact me. You've got my email, you got my phone number, you should have all that information. If you've got anything at all, let me know. Hopefully I can help. And again, like I said, people are doing very well so far. We're right where we need to be. Let's just make sure we don't lose focus, especially because, like I said, this class is going to be over pretty quickly. It all ends next week. In fact, a week from tomorrow, this class ends. So again, last little PS here. Don't forget, be thinking about that final exam. Don't let it sneak up on you. Be thinking about those questions now as we do discussion number 5, the group study problem. Again, good luck, best wishes. This is Professor Hill signing out for today, Wednesday, May 24th. Take care. Bye-bye.